Hi there. This is Lee McQueen, and I'm talking about this election season, specifically about Bernie Sanders' endorsement of Hillary Clinton for president. And it's sent shockwaves throughout the progressive and liberal, and perhaps even Republican and conservative spheres of the political spectrum because I don't think many people actually thought that that would happen, but it did. And so I've been mulling that over and contemplating that as a lot of people have, and a lot of people have dealt with it in various ways. One thing I feel is that our votes belong to us. My vote belongs to me, and your vote belongs to you. And so once you hit 18, it's your right to vote your interest. You don't have to vote my interest. You have to vote your interest. And so what you do with your vote is your business. It's not really anyone's right to tell you how to vote or what you should do with what belongs to you, basically your property. But that still hasn't stopped people from giving orders anyway. The only thing I try to do is give information, in my opinion, maybe make a suggestion, but I don't really beat people over the head with what they should do. Unless it's Hillary Clinton, I just think she should drop out. Just, do one last act of decency on behalf of the American public and just leave. But I don't think she'll listen to that. She hasn't so far, so I don't think that's going to happen. But there's information out there for people who are searching for information of what they should do, of how they should feel, and things they need to consider. And I find such information various places in the internet, and you never know what you'll find on the internet. I'm surprised every day. Never disappointed. Well, yeah, sometimes I am disappointed. But every day is a new day on the internet, which is what makes it so great. And I found something posted on social media in the internet. It looks like Mike Canada. I don't know who he is. I don't know what his station in life is or his experience or anything like that. I never met him. But anyway, he's done a write-up of Bernie Sanders' endorsement of Hillary Clinton, and I decided to go through it and share it with people because I thought it was interesting. I don't agree 100% with everything he's written, but I thought it was interesting enough to want to share with more people. And so, Mike Canada, by way of Bob TV, by way of The Big Show, by way of Facebook, anywhere, here, there, and everywhere on the internet, here it comes from Mike Canada. So he wants to talk about action items for Bernie. He created an FAQ. And so I'm going to go through that. He asked the question, why did Bernie Sanders endorse Hillary Clinton now? Mike says, they threatened to completely shut him out of the convention if he did not. Next question, couldn't Bernie Sanders have said screw them and then go and fight at the convention anyway? Mike says no. Hillary Clinton has more delegates, superdelegates, and supporters on the DNC Rules Committee. They would have voted down every one of the progressive platform planks and denied Bernie Sanders the opportunity to speak and basically shut him out of the entire process. All the leverage he gained up until this point would have been gone if he did not endorse Hillary Clinton. So the next question is, hey, wait, Bernie didn't quit. And the answer is no. He had to say she won the primary. He endorsed her, and he said that he will help the party defeat Trump and all that stuff, but he did not concede. And that's a very big and important difference. If he had conceded, all of his delegates would go to Hillary, and he would no longer be an option for nominee. So the next question is, so Bernie Sanders can still actually win? According to Mike Canada, yes. And if he really couldn't have won, he would have conceded. But that was the only option he had to get to the convention. Mike says that he is not a traitor. He did not sell out. Bernie Sanders did the only possible thing he could have done to keep fighting for the nomination. So the next question is, so how can Bernie Sanders still win if he's losing the delegate count and he just said he will help Hillary Clinton win the election? And so according to, this is a very long answer by Mike Canada, but my understanding is that Mike Canada is convinced that the DNC wants to defeat Donald Trump at all costs, and that the polls and the opinions and things like that, everything they use to judge a candidate's standing, or that they're strong enough to win the November election, they look at that. And Mike Canada says that there are a lot of negatives against Hillary Clinton, even throughout the primary season. She's kept high negatives, and the last reading she got by Jim Comey to the entire nation regarding her trustworthiness and her lack of ability to tell the truth did not help her negatives. In fact, just the opposite. So Mike Canada is convinced that the Democrat National Committee will look at that, and then the superdelegates may swing Bernie Sanders' way. My thinking on that is, if they haven't swung Bernie Sanders' way up until now, what's to make them do that between now and the Democrat National Convention? Or maybe it's a secret plan that no one knows about. But in the face of everything, every stunt and trick that Hillary Clinton pulled this entire primary season, in fact, her campaign committing fraud and racketeering and possibly corruption and all sorts of naughty things that occurred this primary season. If that didn't swing them, I don't know what will. But Mike Canada thinks that this is what is going to happen. Plus, the fact that the FBI is investigating the Clinton Foundation on corruption charges. And so Bernie Sanders is going to make this argument at the convention with 1,900 delegates and 100,000 supporters outside the convention. Mike Canada thinks that this can be done. And again, maybe. Okay, so the next question is, so it's still important that all of his delegates go to the convention, and his supporters can march on the convention as planned. And Mike Canada says that that's more important now than ever. So I do believe it's important for the delegates to go. I don't know about the supporters outside. Bernie Sanders had like 50,000 supporters at his rallies, here, there, and everywhere, all throughout California. And the media, mainstream media, tried to pretend like it didn't happen or tried to downplay it. Social media showed us that Bernie Sanders was still a viable candidate. The Democrat National Committee, the mainstream media, again colluded to make it seem like Bernie Sanders' campaign was over. And then not only that, the Secretary of State of California may have allowed election fraud to take place in the state. So these are the games that people play. Even despite what the people want, people in positions of power have pulled stunts like that all this primary season. But again, who knows? It could work. It could work. The next question is, what if the DNC still refuses to nominate Bernie Sanders at the convention? Can he still run third party now that he's endorsed Hillary Clinton? The answer from Mike Canada is yes. Bernie Sanders could run third party. He says that that option was never a possibility until after the convention. So he can't like just go third party now, like I'm going green. And he would have to wait until after the convention. Mike Canada says that people need to stick with Bernie and see things through all the way to the convention. that since Bernie Sanders stuck with us, we should not abandon him now. And then I investigated that possibility of Bernie Sanders running with the Green Party. And it's been presented to Bernie Sanders over and over and over, and the answer has been no, and then other times silent. So sometimes no answer is the answer. So sometimes a no is a no. But again, this has been an unpredictable season. Some of us have said that Bernie Sanders is a man of his word, and we'll just have to see what can possibly happen out of all this. Okay, so Mike Canada says, what if Bernie Sanders loses at the convention and doesn't run third party, but instead endorses Hillary Clinton 100% and asks us, his Bernie Sanders supporters, to vote for her? Mike Canada responds, then the revolution continues without Bernie Sanders, and the revolution against Hillary Clinton continues, and the revolution against the DNC continues all the way up to November and beyond by voting for someone like Jill Stein or writing in Bernie Sanders. But Mike Canada is saying that the time for that is not now. I believe he's saying after the convention is the time for that if things don't go the way we want. The next question is, so what did Bernie Sanders accomplish with the move? And by this, I think he means by the move of endorsing Hillary Clinton. Mike Canada says that Bernie Sanders was backed into a corner. He was facing the entire political pressure of the Democrat Party and the DNC, who wanted to rob him of a right to claiming the nomination of a rigged contest. And he was also being faced with being shut out of the convention. And so, in spite of that, Mike Canada claims that Bernie Sanders managed to stay in the race and to also secure a prime speaking slot at the convention, which is a contested convention, which he can and likely will turn into a floor fight. Bernie Sanders also kept his delegates, all 1,900 delegates, to use as leverage in the floor fight. And then Mike Canada claims that Bernie Sanders got tens of thousands of people to like and follow Green Party candidate Jill Stein on social media. And I'm not sure if Bernie Sanders did that or if we did that. But, Mike says there, he's making that assertion. And then Mike Canada also claims that this amplified the Never Hillary screams of supporters for all the media and superdelegates to see just a few days before the convention. And so Mike Canada says that people who are trashing Bernie Sanders need to wake up and respect the masterful chess move he just made. Mike Canada claims that he is still Sanders, he's burning her bust, and he's saying never Hillary, and he's saying it's our revolution. So that's an interesting take. I've seen so many interesting takes on the internet, on various forums, and then also by mainstream media. Bernie Sanders has sent his interpretation of his endorsement out to his people on his email list, and he's talked to his delegates. And so it's just such a strange election year. I haven't seen anything like it. Although, we've had some things happen since 1789 when we first started electing our presidents, and who knows what the future is going to bring. It's just so hard to make predictions. There are many X factors. One of the chief X factors is Hillary Clinton herself, who just does not play by normal rules. She doesn't follow authority. She doesn't follow the chain of command. She doesn't follow federal code. She doesn't follow executive orders. She doesn't follow the rules of common decency. So we can't really predict how low she will go. It's just totally taking everyone by surprise. Just when you say, well, this can't possibly happen, then it does. And we say, oh, okay, I guess that's our new normal now. Just crazy stuff happening all the time, every day. So again, we just watch the news and watch events and keep in communication with each other and try to hope for the best for our nation, which is what it does come down to.